Hello world, I'm Miyah Sundermeyer, and I'd like to welcome you to the latest episode of my blog series. And the main purpose right now is to talk about what it is like to live on the autism spectrum, to how I handle issues that come up and how I react, versus giving advice to individuals on the spectrum as to how they can better put a neurotypical in their place when they are being a pain in the butt and due to not really understanding where you or me are coming from. And I eventually would like to see my blogs turn into a mini Good Morning America for the geek world. And I would like to talk about the latest trends in fashion for Comic-Con and Dragon Con, and the latest episode of Doctor Who, who might be the 15th Doctor, or possibly interview the characters from My Little Pony like Tara Strong and Andrea Libman and Tabitha St. Germain and John Delancey. And not only would I do things that are glamorous, but I also would like to interview people from NASA, and I'd like to talk about the latest findings and talk about how you can better tackle a math problem versus getting over a mathematical formula. But for now, I'm going to continue talking about living on the autism spectrum. And I had most recently talked about what it was like for me to make friends versus having social deficits. And I forgot to mention that during high school, I did manage to make one really, really good friend, and we are still friends today, as a matter of fact. And I didn't meet her in the school cafeteria, nor in choir, nor on any of the work programs that I was on, or in any of the classes. No, I met her on the bus because she drove me one-on-one for an entire school year. And we liked each other so much that we just managed to stay in contact. But I'll tell you, I was required to go to, or not really required, but my parents thought, in their best choice, that it was the best for their daughter to go to a school where they could better understand individuals on the autism spectrum, and these teachers were so-called top experts, and that was a big joke. Well, it was a big joke. There were no other people like me that I could relate to. There were no support groups. No, I got stuck with one size fits all system, where I had tried to make friends with the other kids, and again, they didn't have Asperger's syndrome. They had ADHD and slow learning disorders and bipolar disorder. The only people in the group that were autistic were so off in their own worlds that I couldn't really comprehend. And then, I was shut out of that other group by these people who I thought were my friends. And anyway, it was during 11th grade that I managed to make friends with my bus driver. And I'll tell you a little backstory to that. On the first day of my junior year, I was picked up by a very interesting bus driver, and he had several other people he had to pick up. And the majority of those students went to an alternative school because they did things like get drunk and do drugs and beat up other kids. And they were so bad that they picked on me and talked to me like I was worthless. And one of them was a girl that told me I had to keep my mouth shut, and she did things like pull on my hair and laugh at me every time I talked. And another kid threatened to steal my backpack, and I said, "Get your hands off," and they all thought it was funny. And so I went home crying, and I told my mom, "Please put me on another bus. Please put me on another bus. I'm really scared." And so about a week later, I ended up getting a different bus driver, and I'm not going to give her name out, but it turned out that even though she was in her 50s and I was just a teenager, she and I had a lot in common. And we would, I would ride on the bus for a half hour with her, and we would sit and talk about problems, and I would sit and talk about what the other kids in school did to me. And you have no idea what it was like to have somebody that actually cared enough, and somebody that actually told me that I seemed like somebody that was more than capable of breaking through the barriers that I was under, that my IQ would never grow, or that I would always be a janitor the rest of my life because I had a, quote, disability, or live in a group home. No, she knew that I could do it. In fact, when I moved to Minneapolis with my 2 roommates in 2002, I managed to get a hold of her phone number, and I managed to talk to her when something bothered me. And then when I moved down to Atlanta in 2003, we had managed to keep up our conversations and keep in contact. And in fact, I still contact her today when something bothers me. And in fact, I just wrote her a letter last week, because we don't get a chance to talk on the phone, and especially during the winter. So, until next time, I'm Miyah Sundermeyer, and I'm signing off now. Bye.